Yes, for sure. I'm Naomi Owen Speak. I'm the Treaty Rights and Environmental Protection Manager for Saulteau First Nations. I've been with Saulteau since 2008. After graduating from university, I really wanted to work for my nation. So I was doing summer student positions so that I could get a job into Saulteau when I graduated. And it worked out well. It's just been an excellent journey with Saulteau. And I love this position as the Treaty Rights and Environmental Protection Manager.
Perfect. Can you actually tell me a little bit more about that job and position?
Yep. So basically, in a nutshell, the Treaty Rights and Environmental Protection work with governments, industry, and any other nation and community. So we're reviewing referrals, we're looking at the land, we're ensuring that our treaty rights are protected, number one. And that second, industrial development can occur, but they have to be aware of what our concerns are out there. So we have a lot of, within TREP, which is the acronym for my department, we have someone who oversees mining, someone who oversees forestry and oil and gas. And then we also have a GIS team who contribute to the review of whatever referral we're looking at. There's also a lot on the go. We have projects that are going on, like the caribou maternity pen with the Clinzeza caribou herd. So there's a lot going on in that project, and it involves a lot. And that's partially why we wanted to host this restoration conference, because restoration is a big piece of what the end part of all projects. So we just wanted to have that documented and showcased on what we've done already and what we can do.
Wonderful. And how has the conference been going so far? Has it been relatively successful and well received?
I'm going to say 100%. Like I've had 3 people today tell me this is the best conference they've been to. I'm like, what? Awesome. So no, I think it's going off really well. What we did is we've all been to conferences. So we just took the highlights of what we love from conferences and incorporated it into this with an Indigenous flair, because we had to represent who we are too. I feel this conference is going off really well. And that was all we wanted, was to spark conversation, network, and have those good conversations.
And does it seem like you have been successful on the networking side as well as the generating conversations aspect of it?
I would say yes, definitely. I think it's happening. And yesterday was focused on collaborations and innovative technologies. And today is like, what can we do in the future together? And I think those conversations have started. And I have hope that we can heal this land together.
My name is Alicia Aird. I'm a Saulteau First Nations member, a biologist, and the general manager of Ski Reclamation, which is Saulteau First Nations owned reclamation restoration company. We're locally based here on Saulteau First Nations on reserve. And we've been operating for the last 5 years, and we're Indigenous led in all of our business that we do. We're very proud supporters of our community and community employment on an ongoing basis. And we work in the fields of environmental sciences, reclamation services, and restoration planning and management.
Wonderful, thank you. How are you finding the conference so far?
I feel like the conference just has such good energy to it. Like, it's such a buzz happening, and everyone I talk to is just having such meaningful conversations around restoration, what that looks like as a community and collaborative approach towards it. I feel like people are really excited about a different perspective and a different lens on restoration and how practices can change to help support that too.
Wonderful. And what does restoration look like to you?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think restoration towards me is intentional. When we take the time to be intentional in our planning that we do, intentional with the way that we do procurement and bring in resources, intentional with the opportunities we have for community training, capacity building, employment. That to me is meaningful restoration. That to me is meaningful native plants put back onto land. We're not just doing the bare minimum. We're not just trying to get it done to meet a timeline. We're actually wanting to take care of the land the way that's taking care of us.
I get that. I understand. Is there a particular panelist or speaker that has presented or has yet to present that you feel like their words or values have sparked meaningful conversation within the conference?
Yeah, that's a great question. All the panelists have brought something, and this presenter is really valuable to the conference. I think my favorite was hands down Carmen, because Carmen gets up there with such a good sense of humor and like a very practical approach to what it is that she's doing, what it is she's studying. And it also takes into the context, like we're talking, you know, wetland restoration and linear feature restoration, but there's so much more to restoration than just putting plugs in the ground. And Carmen's presentation talking about lichen, which is, you know, it's small and we don't always think about it in the grand scheme of everything, really, really represents like that inherent traditional knowledge of understanding ecosystems and understanding like it doesn't matter how, if it's a tree or if it's the smallest organism, it doesn't have less value on the landscape.
Wonderful. And final question for you. In the future, depending on how government or even the land nations and communities surrounding handle restoration, what do you think will happen, and what do you think we will see in the future?
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot more hand-in-hand government from a First Nations government perspective, collaboration, working together. I think we all have a common goal. I think we all want to do meaningful work, and we all want to see the land healed. I think with Indigenous-led restoration and us working together as communities, that's definitely achievable with really, really great support from local communities in the Peace region, such as Chetwynd, Fort St. John, and the companies that work there too.